Good day! This is the second time that I'm addressing you on this very same day. Although the first time you were, hopefully, most of you, asleep, judging based off of my audience. That said, hello and welcome to another daily. Yesterday, we found a really cool combo and I messed it, but we still managed to make it through. Today, hopefully we don't mess it up. So, what we got? Cards reward packs already come with a random upgrade. You take the path that is chosen for you. You lose money whenever a friendly unit takes damage. This isn't so bad. We've got Little Fade again, and we got Root Seeds, which is an odd mix, but one that can work. The trick is to get our little friends set up in such a way that they just do the damage. Let's see what we got here. More stacks of burnout each time it's applied. Okay. Or 50% chance to apply dazed when an enemy unit enters a train. And we got Entombed Explosive, Primitive Molds. Applying burnout to anything here, really, in larger stacks, makes burnout less of a problem. It means that once we resurrect something, it stays. You know what? I actually prefer that over whatever else is coming. So let's see what we can do. Just unzip the collar a little bit. Let's see. Endless Extinguish. Look, we know what Eternal Flame does. We found out what Eternal Flame does. And then Extinguish, apply 5 and 5, and burn out 5 to friendly units. Problem. Just one small one. We don't have any burnout units that matter. Like, I don't... If you can continuously get this person to die and resurrect, then Little Fade could actually be really, really sick, because then you're just making people bigger and bigger and bigger every turn. Right? Like, literally leading the way. That's the combo I'm noticing. And it'd be burnout 10, which means that it effectively you're applying the 5 repeatedly. Now, we have Sacred Wicks and we have Primitive Mold. You know what? This is easy mode. This is the mode. Let's go for Firelight and see what we can do with it, because I actually like this idea. I just want to, now that I've had this brainwave, like for the first time I understand what this person's supposed to do. I want to see what it does. Now boss enemies get +4. Alright, cool. See if I care. Did I turn on the trial? I did not turn on the trial. I am not a smart man. Die. You know what? It's fine. Just get you to attack and die, please. So, a bit of a sad face there. No. We're gonna do this. Get the money. Get one of these. Before we get too crazy, Sacred Wicks. Get both of them back. You know, we'll do another one. Then put out Little Fate. Then put out a Train Steward. Boom. Easy wins. Kill him. Make him bigger. Call it a day. So he's actually fairly large right now. Primitive Mold. That's not Little Fate. That is Little Fate. Excellent work. You get to die. Okay, Primitive Mold. Do your thing. It's not the thing I was going for, but sure. It doesn't matter who goes first here. It's all going to be bad news for us. And then up here, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just make him as big as I possibly can. Primitive Mold. Primitive Mold. Okay, there we go. That's exactly what we were going for. Grab this guy, toss that guy out there, and now it's game over. Easy game over. Little Fate herself is also really quite strong. It's worth mentioning at this point. Like, she starts becoming big after multiple resurrections like that. Molten Encasement. No. Permafrost? No. Hallowed Drippings with Permafrost is a bit more interesting. Largely because, with access to Combustible Wax, that actually does quite a lot. Also, I'm an idiot. It's +3, not +5. Okay, Permafrost on that. It's neat. Wildwood Sap? Sting at 20 damage? It's a free card, pretty much. It gets itself going. Harvest. Gain Rage 5. Works well with our... Yeah. Big Sluggo. Alright. We've got our run. If we can delete every other creature we have in our deck except for Little Paid and Big Sluggo, we're in a good spot. And, like, I guess the Wickless Baron. We need to have 2 floors. Yeah, we're gonna go for Wickless Baron because he can kind of handle himself. Let's see. Quick. Just immediately go on anybody. Burnout 1. Nah. I wish we had that. We had the thing we wanted for that one. Spikes. We have Spikes 8 on the Wickless Baron. And just have them, like, do stuff. However, that does not get them large. This would be Burnout 4. I honestly am not sure about what here we would actually want. Like, if we make you quick, you're not going to be attacking with the most amount of damage you could be having. And Spikes 4 is kind of helpful because you do have 40 HP. Because then whenever somebody attacks you and they're tiny, you see, they just die. And give him that bonus. It's really not a bad plan. I think we are going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at that. Spikes 3, huh? Well, you suck. Let's do this. So, how do we want to do this? Well, big Sluggo. Little fade out in front. And then we set you up on the top floor, because that's just common practice. But the train stewards don't exist as far as I'm concerned, because we want to make sure that we primitive mold little fade every time we get the chance. Put you out there. Yoink! Get rid of the Sinner's Burden. Toss out Root Seeds. And if this ever gets hairy, we can deal with it. A brief respite, huh? Little fade comes back out again. And if you could just die here, too. Oh, you're not going to die here. Isn't that interesting? So you get the double harvest, and you're going down harder than a sack of bricks. Okay, double entombed, man. Sting him for fun. Get rid of Sinner's Burden. Pass out hollow drippings just to make sure. Look, the run works. The run works really well, actually. That was a stellar play. Molded would be very, very good. We don't need more entombed encasements, and stealth doesn't help as much as you'd like it to, so molded it is. Then out of these, holdover Vine Grasp is actually really neat. What's our Seraph today? Okay, Sappy Seraph. And then, is this holdover Razor Sharp Edge? Ooh. Holdover Razor Sharp Edge actually does some interesting stuff. Restoration Detonation is really big on the Sluggo, because then you can just do a bunch of damage to the guy in front, because he will take damage. There's nothing stopping that from happening. I love Holdover. It's really nice to be able to rely on one spell to continuously come back. However, we have 2 Fine Grasps already. Razor Sharp Edge isn't needed because attack power is not our problem. What we could use is a little bit more sustain. We could use a bit more sustain on those bigger friends of ours. Alright, which way are we going? Left? Left. Okay, excellent. Let's see what's inside the Concealed Caverns first, because that kind of determines other things. +1 on each floor. More magic power. And I don't think we want to restrict our width here. Don't get me wrong, magic power is good. Sting will do 35 damage at that point, as with all the other spells we have. And spells this run are a really good investment, because they don't get sapped. This is a tougher decision. Magic power only does currently affect 2 of our spells, to be fair. Actually, no, it affects Vine Grasp too. You know what? We're gonna take the riskier, more offensive decision first. Besides, lore-wise, it's a heart-wrenching item. Out of these, you have multi-strike, but you don't gain any power, and you're just big to start off with. But I already have one that has spikes. Okay. So spells, we can remove Consume. Making Sacred Wicks actually replayable is pretty hot, if I might say so myself. And then upgrade spell to have 20 magic power and Consume. I don't think we need that. Like, our spells are already pretty good. I would rather get rid of Train Stewards with our remaining money. As much as possible, they drag our deck down in a very frustratingly large way. We move on from there. And we see what this guy does. So, Explosive Sigil deals 1 damage on death for a unit. Okay, sure, why not? Bombs out there. Sluggo's down here with a little fade to help out. We're going to put the Wickless Baron up here, and then we're going to laugh. Now, we have to remember we also lose money every time that we get hit. So keep that in mind. Little fade. Out you come. Then you. Blast them. Okay, so Little Fade's going to die. But I want to make sure that we don't have anybody new coming up on the next floor. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Both of them die anyway, except for now we get 3 harvest triggers off of that guy on our big friend here. Cool. Bombs coming out. You're taking a little bit of damage. It's not that big a deal. Instead, tuned explosive, and you're good to go. Now, mold it. Grab a little fade, please. I mean, it's 18 damage twice. So what we can do is just toss that on... Toss that on that, and then both of them die. Little Fade takes a little damage, but it doesn't really matter that much for us. And Sacred Wicks doesn't really help us at all right now, actually. It doesn't consume, though, so we might as well play it so that we can get a free Train Steward up on the top floor. You never know. Yeah, bomb. Okay, cool. Now, this floor, we're taking some damage, not dealing quite enough for me to be happy about it, but we don't have many options. I'll go ahead and nuke that guy down, take a little bit less damage here as a result. Up here, we do have a reformable unit. It's another Entombed Explosive. You know what? We could put another one up here just to deal you an additional, yep, I was about to say 50 damage. And then make you as large as possible. Currently, this boy is super big, and I'm loving it. Okay, Restoration Detonation. Instantaneous win there. Primitive Mold, get back. Okay, that creature works too. Because then you can just attack it for 160 something directly. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen, but now it's 214 instead. Up here's good. Yeah, Root Seeds to draw an additional card, call it a turn. Final Wave. We aren't even going to need this, but Little Fade, if you wouldn't mind, just for the sake of laughs, just coming out and doing some extra damage. I really wish that we could somehow kill you this turn. Alright. That worked out fine. So, we don't need a whole lot here. But the things we do need, we need a decent amount of. Sacrificial Resurrection is a good spell. I like it. Having it have Holdover isn't the upgrade I necessarily wanted. Permafrost would have been better, I think. The reason why I like it is because it allows you to eat up cards you don't want in your deck to create cards that you do want in your deck. It's really, really solid. I know it's clogging up the deck. We're already at 20 cards, which is, you know, not an already sort of situation. And we know that we're getting rid of 2. So I think that Sacrificial Resurrection has a purpose. These don't currently, so we'll get rid of them. And then I think that considering that we just got rid of Width, we go wide. That makes the most sense to me. If we don't go wide, then what will probably happen to us is we have a bad day. So we still have $140. We use this to remove Train Steward. We use this to remove Train Steward. Okay, so now we're only reanimating the things we want. Sweep. Burnout 4. Weird. Strange flex, but okay. Thorned Hollow. Comes in, gets a bunch of HP, and then will die because we don't have any heals. I mean, we could apply a bunch of extras, but... let's see. Extinguish. Apply 15 and 5 and burn out 5 to units. Or, spikes 1, and every time you kill something, you get 2 and 2 permanently. As much as I like that plan... And it does work with herself. Why don't we give Little Icarus a try as well? Because this will be the last time that Little Icarus makes sense to try to pick up here. Then as far as doubling cards go, give me another Molded. Just as much Molded as you can hand me. Or, you know what? Give me another Sting. Maybe. That's more card draw. It's 35 damage. Like, it is not to be sneezed at. And it's effectively a free card later down the line. Oh good, multi-strike, my favorite. Good thing that makes us lose money really fast. So yeah, we weren't able to spend our money, so that's a big sad. Fine. Okay. Permanent mold. Get back a little fade. Now, I could put that downstairs. It would die. Poor thing. But I'd rather have gotten a chance to start picking up kills. So I'm going to use you like a missile here. Use you to instantly kill him. Go up here. Play the Entombed Explosive. We want Divine Grasp because it's free. And if we can avoid taking some damage, that would have been ideal, but I don't have enough Ember. Never mind. Okay. You're hurt. Restoration Detonation takes a priority. Then, you blow up, we get a kill, call it a day. That's not bad. Should have waited. I forgot Little Fate isn't dead yet. This is a weird one. Now, do I need root seeds? No. I don't have enough Ember. Our big boy here is fine. Like, he is a very large man. We're just going to cast this twice, so that way I can go ahead and cast the Sacrificial Resurrection and put out a trap. Like, I just need more Harvest triggers to go off, man. Like, this guy needs down here, needs to be practically invulnerable by themselves. Burnout 4 means that you're actually usable here. We'll use this to kill you, and then use this to help kill you. Little Fade, I'm sorry. I really hope you burn out right now and we're able to actually use you at some point this run. Because, like, that was a mistake. I should not be using him as a missile. Because that killed our own guy. Molded. He has to get all of that back now. Like, you see the problem. We need to constantly cast them on the same floor now. That's the issue. We put out the draft. 339 isn't bad. Alright. Well, it's not an awful amount of damage dealing. Sting. We can get Molt. Bring back the really big draft. Yeah. We messed up this fight. But that's not to say very much about anything, honestly, in this case. There's a lot we could have done differently here. We might as well just do this to make things real easy on ourselves. So, Little Icarus. When a friendly unit dies, yeah, Resin Block is really good here. Permafrost at this, not terrible. It does allow us to... Ooh, 20 damage? 20 damage! I didn't notice that for a second, I almost forgot. So, restore 60 health, draw 2. Not quite. Pyre Go, draw 2, +1 energy for the rest of the turn for the battle. I only want to cast that once. I only want to cast that once. I don't want to cast that multiple times. Because otherwise we start running low on energy on turns where we don't want to run low on energy. Okay, grand. Unstable Vortex. If you could remove Root Seed and Root Seed, that would be excellent. Because those two cards aren't doing anything for us, sadly. Endless. Applying that to an Entombed Explosive would mean that we can just constantly put that out there. Then Purge a card. Root Seeds. So long. Thanks for all the fish. Good game, David Big. Strength Stone. Look, we could put that on the big guy here and it would make some sense. I think it's more important right now that we focus on finding like some of those bigger upgrades for these guys. And we also do want to spend our money to make sure that Well, on one end, we want to spend all of our money. On another end, we don't want to spend any of our money. Is it stealth guy? It's of course it's stealth guy with shield 2. Look, I'm not risking shield 2. I'm sorry. It'll be too hard to actually deal with this stuff. Okay, little fade, same floor. Has to be every time. If you want to go ahead and deal with people, you put down Entomb Explosives. Like this. Okay, as far as Subsuming Blade goes, this would be an excellent time for it. So I'm going to do Sacred Wicks instead, grab Little Fade, toss them out there, use this to make sure that they have all the burnout they'll ever need, use this to help deal some extra damage, and yeah, Little Fade's going to die here, but not before getting a kill first, and that's a big deal. As Little Fade continuously gets bigger like this, balls, it'll give us a lot more power to work with. Sting, instantly dead, no problem. Entombed Explosive. Now you're both instantly dead, fantastic. Sting, you're not dead, but you're dang close. And I should have done this to start off with, honestly. Use you to kill him. Then use this to put you. Oh, I don't have enough hammer! It's okay. Molded, grab Little Fade again, please. She's currently at 4111. Alrighty then. 5, 6 instantly kills her. $41 won't be enough to get a kill. I'd rather that she died in this case. Fair. Then what? Yep, that makes sense. The more I look at this particular situation, the more I'm quite pleased about it. I don't want to cast any other spells. We're good. Yeah. Oh my. That was fun. Alright, so you're gonna rip and tear through everybody here, and there's really not much we can do about that. We can slow you down, however, and Little Fade, like this, does slow you down. Now you're taking a little bit of damage. It's not the best, but it's something. We can't play anybody else down there. And I'd rather have another Little Fade to come back up here, because Little Fade's getting large. Subsuming Blade. Okay. Like, just a big sad, really. Now, we did use up everything, so that's good. Okay, Little Fade. 418. And there's our win. Okay, cool. I like it when a plan comes together. Nice Vine Grasp, because it's free. Okay, cool. Oh, and Fade got the kill, no less. I didn't even plan for that. That was excellent. Resin removal. Nope. Sacred Wicks with Permafrost. It's a neat idea, but no. And then Wicked Blaze. If you cost less, maybe. But we actually have enough recursion that we're probably okay. Again, not sold on it. Engraft is literally a free restore 16 and draw 1. It's a solid. Wildwood Custodian, however, is actually very interesting. In the sense that if that thing lives long enough, it's effectively a boss, like a boss crystal. Like, it's one of these, but for draw a card every turn, just for this thing existing. And in a pinch, you can use it to sacrifice and toss somebody in under the bus. Okay, this is a tough one. I want to pick up one of these cards. We have 18 cards in the deck. You know, we can afford to add some. Let's get the Wildwood Custodian. I think that the Wildwood Custodian, played correctly, can do a lot of good for us. Okay, we have to go left. Fair enough. Hazel's Horde. X cards get their value +3. We don't have any X cards. I'd almost rather take the money in this case. Like, it's a really good card. With Rail Spike of any kind, it would kick so much butt. But we're not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Umberstone, huh? If we apply that to our big friendly man, if we apply that to Sluggo, we're in a good spot. So Sluggo, you're gonna trample soon, okay? You're gonna be a big boy. 2 minutes get +30 and burnout. effectively able to tank. They burn out automatically and then die, but they burn out after 4 turns. It's actually not worth it. This would be worth it. Gaining 5 energy when a 2 unit dies means that we would have enough energy to play everything in our hand multiple times over. Sadly, we don't have enough money. We don't have anything we can sell. Also, sadly, I'm not sure what we would cut right now. Maybe this entombed explosives. That way we only have 1 going at a time. But having 2 is entertaining. Yeah, I think we keep the 2. And I don't think we buy anything. This means that we're likely to take some decent damage here and lose some of that money, but we'll do what we can. Binding. Pyro takes 3 damage, and days. Okay, so it's the junk, and it's the days. These are 2 things. These are 2 mechanics. We live in a world with mechanics. Okay, if we put Slug out and Little Fade, and then Subsuming Blade the other one, this actually could work. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's dazed. This is a terrible plan. Our poor Sluggo has like a million days now. We should have done that the other way around and had Sluggo go down last. Okay. Blade of Contrition here does take up the mana that we really want to use for Subsuming Blade. But you gotta do what you gotta do, huh? Place him in behind, use him to kill that guy. Alright. Yeah, look at you up on the top floor, no one cares. Primitive Molds. We grabbed a Little Fade. So, right now, you're attacking for 5, killing him, you take 50. Then 1, die. 6, die. And then you get slapped for nothing at the moment. And that's gonna be fine. Or is it? Yeah, it is fine. I have to leave it be. We might as well put out this 2 unit here for now. Alright, now Sluggo's in action. So now that Sluggo's back in action, and you are... Yeah, you're already done. You've already done your thing. That's fine. Sting, for sure. Vine Grasp. Solidly tempting. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to Primitive Molt. Hopefully we get lucky, and we did. Put her out there. Takes 11. So 5, 10, dies. 11. Gets another kill, gets more attack power, does what Little Fade does best, and then a big old slap there to get the kill. Perfect. Up here, Subsuming Blade does what we needed to do. No problemo. You know what? I'm just going to use both of these to do some damage here. Okay, up here is Dazed. No more casting of people, sadly. What I can do to speed things up, however, is do this. And then you die and get a little bit of power, a little bit of everything else. That's fine. Primitive Mold or Molded at this point. There are 2 available, so I'm going to go for the Molded. And like right now, we're on the roll. Like we want to have these things happen the way that they're going right now. I'm also going to put out one of these. Let's see. There's an interesting option. Why don't we do that? Yeah, now you're up there and I don't care. Endless Boy, go down here. Subsuming Blade. Killing your own guy, doing damage to the guy in the front. Sounds great. Vine Grasp. You're only living for 1 hit, my friend. So what I'm going to do instead is speed things up somewhat. Doing 5 damage, then instantly dying. Then you're attacking him and then you're killing him. That's fine. I'd almost rather we just did this, though. Okay. Molded. 2 available. We have the mana and the opportunity to cast it both times. I should have cast double Primitive Mold. I'm an idiot. Little Fate. It's 21 HP. If we put anybody down here, though, they get dazed. I just realized this was a bad turn for this. Okay, let's put out the Entombed Explosive. He won't die, but, like, whatever, I guess. Sting. This is a harsh world right now. I think we have to hold on to Little Fade. Final wave. Alright, we did not draw Little Fade again. Big sad. Sting. We have no one to mold. Trample doesn't do anything here. Subsuming Blade does some damage, I guess. It's 32 of it. It's not awful. Alright. Then just resurrect it. That does a little bit more damage. Okay, cool. So Arcus just does damage. Like, that is the MO of that person. Sting him. Okay, molded. Now if I grab you back, you're a big stonky boy. If I grab you back, you'll have one chance to attack for 65 and then deal another 100 of damage on top of that. I like that plan. That's not an awful amount of damage, but it's still not great either. You Burnout 4, I believe in you. We're also going to go ahead and just get that out of our hand now. You are dying. Okay, since you are dying, what can I do to speed this up? Well, that messed things up a little bit. Cool. For a second there, we played it a little bit risky, but I really wanted my Subsuming Blade to go off a little bit. Unleash the Wildwood, having holdovers. Stellar. Stellar. Spreading Spores is good, but it's way too expensive at what it is. Unleash the Wildwood means that we can just keep healing every single time. The problem is we don't have any healing problems. Like, at least Spreading Spores, if we can get it to cost less, would be good. For 2 mana, I'd cast that. Then, what do we want? We don't need to go wide anymore. We don't need to draw cards. I want energy, please. Like, this is definitely a good run. It's an excellent run, but it's definitely fine-tuned. Very fine-tuned. Alright. The Wickless Baron does sort of help. On the floor that he's on, for sure. But we've got, like, an Entombed Explosive floor, which subtly increases this man's power, and that's about it. I don't think there's very much I'd want to remove. Like, one of the Entombed Explosives is a maybe here, but it is a hard maybe. Vine Grasp is fine, but not needed. Umberstone never got a chance to go off there. I'm not even sure if we needed it after all. Okay, deal 5 damage to enemy units when a burnout unit dies. Yeah, 100%. Super solid. Why wouldn't I? Burnout. Cute, but unnecessary. I don't think we want any of these. Reroll. Okay. A large stone on the Baron would make him a little bit more potent. A large stone on Big Sluggo would be kind of cool too. I think that it's better on Wickless Baron because we don't need him on the same floor as everybody else. Why don't we go ahead and spend some extra money here, make sure that he's as tanky as possible, and then, no, we don't need Burnout. And are we sure we don't want to remove any cards right now? Like, a Primitive Mold, I think, seems fair. I'm not even sure what Umberstone's doing in our deck. Like, we're managing without it, and there's no one in the game that's going to be really small anymore. Like, the small ones don't exist. They're all huge birds now. Okay, so, gain 2 and apply spikes 2, apply 15, 5, and burn out 5 to friendly units. Or gain more power and spikes permanently every time. I really like the idea of applying attack damage more quickly at this point, so we're going to go back to our friendly version. And enemy units enter with armor 20. Excusez-moi. I need to be able to kill the multi-strike boys, or else we're going to have a very hard time. But, like, 400 coins, though. 400 coins and points, though. Do you think we can, like, is our deck good enough to get through this? With Subsuming Blade, I think that's possible. With Subsuming Blade, we have the ability to pierce through armor, and that is a big deal. We also have a lot of targeted damage in the back. So, big Sluggo, little Fade, do about 30-something odd damage. Come on. Okay, up here. You will die. That is fine. That's extra damage. Now you are very dead. Primitive Mold. Get little Fade back. We're so close. We can't quite get to the end there. So that little guy's gonna escape. It's a big sad. Sacrificial Wicks, or Sacred Wicks, whatever you want to call them. Out you come. No Sacred Blade this time. Now, here's an interesting conundrum. Currently, you take 23 damage. Your first strike kills you. Then you attack twice. You take a decent amount of damage, but then you don't die. Or, I Vine Grasp. You attack, die. You attack, die. You don't attack as many times, but you do get hurt. Or, I heal you. Okay, cool. Because you're doing 8 damage. You're doing, and then dying. Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. Then, Entombed Explosives out here. We don't want to mold anything unnecessarily, but we don't have anything in there anyway. And I don't want to eat up these cards. So, you know what? I'm going to get this card. I think that we can hold on to this card for now, because we're still drawing 6 every turn. There's no need to panic with this one yet. Okay, Subsuming Blade. This is why we brought you. Like, seriously. Okay. You coming out here means you die instantaneously and we can take 1 damage from our pyre, or we could just put this boy down, have you both die. Excellent news. You're already dying to Big Man. And nuts. I don't have little Fade down there this turn. Don't worry, problem solved next turn. Solid Drippings. Molded. Grab a little Fade again. You know, we might as well just go ham on the spells up here, because, like, if we don't have to have anybody die, why do we? Only taking 170, huh? That's lame. Oh, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. Sacred Wicks, we might as well get the one guy back. Okay, now you're taking 500 and something? That's probably fine. 1, 2, 3. We can probably. There's a chance. Actually, if we hold on to Molded, it's guaranteed we get little Fade back, and then yeah. It's a big draft. We could get a draft with plus 30 on there. But then we'd lose our Molded, so yeah, no. So, Stabby. Subsuming Blade. Okay, at this point, Molded. Grab little Fade back again. Sacred Wicks. Okay, the reason why Sacred Wicks here is a good plan is because this boy, although he can't be put down, this boy can be. We're doing 313, huh? So close. We'll put you out here up top then, and then put Big Sluggo right in behind. Like that guarantees the kill. Now you might be big, you might be spooky, but have you thought about the fact that I'm downright kooky? 126 damage or something like that. I probably should have put you first. Is there any way that I can get rid of this guy in front at all? No. I made a mistake. I'm going to kill you instead. Because that's more fun. Alright, well, we could have played that better. If Little Fate had gotten the kill there, if I had timed that out properly, that would have been much better. Wicked Blaze with Holdover is neat. I don't think we need to, though. If it had Permafrost, I'd actually be more interested. Crushing Demise can be exceptionally neat. Effectively creating a floor where we can tomb, blow them up, and kill almost 2 things a turn there. It's not bad, but we're skipping. Another one every turn. It's cute. It's very cute. Cycle of Life is not what we're looking for. Focus growth at 50 HP is nice, but again, not what we're looking for. Like, honestly, we could stand to remove a couple of cards from our deck that we thought were going to be good, but are not. So which way do we go down? The side where we're not removing cards. Instead, Subsuming Blade does 47 damage right now. That's a little bit nasty. What would I want to double anyway? Duplicate any card except for my champion. Like, Sting, again, is 35 damage with additional cards next turn. It is Grease in a deck that uses Grease well. I'm okay with this. Permafrost. Who wants it? Probably Restoration Detonation would really enjoy that. Sacrificial Resurrection would be really good with that, actually. So you know what? Permafrost, we have it pretty much permanently. Purge 1 card? I can think of 1 card I can purge. Spreading Spores, sadly, is too expensive. We don't want it after all. And then Magic Power. Is there anything we want that needs more Magic Power? Subsuming Blade doing 57 damage is really, really funny. It certainly makes it worth it to play almost every single time that we can. But I think that making it cost less is more important for us. Another 10 damage is not the same thing as being able to cast it more reliably. Then, do we need any artifacts? When friendly unit is healed, deal damage. Nah. Front friendly unit on each floor gains 5. That actually could screw us over more than it would help. I would rather leave all of that alone. Move right along. We've got a 19-card deck. It's trim. It's low to the ground. I like it. So, Seraph attacks every turn, applies melee weakness to your front unit, and gains attack on rally and it can. Yeah, in short, this is the broken version. I hate this Seraph. Now, out of you two, who attacks first? So if it's little guy, it is little guy. Okay, cool. He's got rally, whatever, no big deal. The melee weakness here really hurts. We need to put something out in front. That's better. Okay, big Sluggo. Yeah. Primitive Mold, though, and suddenly we're looking a little bit more interesting. Yeah, you kill Little Fade, but then you kill yourself, and Big Sluggo just gets bigger. Okay, just don't cast spells on the same floor as him. If you have to cast creatures on the same floor, that's fine. Like, that's tolerable. Melee weakness before you leave, huh? Lots of fun, thanks. I appreciate that. This is a Subsuming Blade situation, I think. Then we definitely want to reform Little Fade as often as we possibly can on this bottom floor. Restoration Detonation, get that heal out there. She's taking 63. Is there any way to make you die to Little Fade? That gets you to kill from Little Fade. Cool. That's what we're looking for. Kills by Little Fade. So you take your first attack and you take 2 times the combat damage. 16, instantly die moving along. This guy does that, this guy does that, and this guy attacks back. Where do you die in all this? Right, because you have burnout and you die, so then you frag the guy in the back. Sadly, I don't want to cast anything else on this floor because of the way that, you know, cards work. So, we're going to go ahead and reform the Entombed Explosive. Cast it for free. I'm going to go ahead and sting up here where it's safe to do so without any real problem. I'm going to put this up here as a troll. Just a big old bomb. And I think we hold on to Subsuming Blade for a turn. Like, this is a moment where we do have to kind of just take it easy and relax. We don't want to give this boy any more than he's already got. He's already dying. Perfect. Perfect bomb. No problemo there, really. Over here, melee weakness does not go away until later, huh? That's kind of lame and dumb. That's a little better. That's a lot better. So, I'm looking at this right now, and if I can do Primitive Mold, I shouldn't have done it on that floor. Should not have done it on that floor. You will take it, die, then the other guy gets attacked. Kills Little Fade, so Little Fade will come back, but not before getting a kill first. I don't want to cast creatures on your floor. Spells are a maybe. Creatures, absolutely not. So down here you come. Okay, now you're dying. That's excellent news. So attack, strike 50, then he gets the kill. I wish I could get rid of this. Like, this alone is kind of killing the run a little bit. We got nothing else to mold or do anything with, so we're going to hold on to a handful of hopes. Melee weakness 2. You know what? I almost wish you would die. Okay, so you attack. Deal yourself 31 damage. Don't kill him. You attack, die. Little Fade gets bigger. That's good. I'm going to Howler Drippings just to make sure he's bigger. We ought to Sting just to be safe. Sting again because, like, why not? Then Subsuming Blade, I want to cast it. I really do. But we'll have to hold off on it because, like, what else are we going to do here? Blows up, then attacks, kills him anyway. This Tycoon is probably toast, no matter what I do. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to put an Entombed Explosive up here, because it's free to do. I could Subsuming Blade just to get the kill there, but I don't think it's worth it. What would actually be interesting is using Subsuming Blade here for the damage, knocking that down. Now both of them are dying to Little Fade, because you attack, take 31, die, you attack, you take enough, you die, everyone dies and has a good time. And now you're on the floor where I absolutely must cast, and you now have melee weakness, which is just the worst. So, grab a Little Fade. Yeah. Now it does get 2 kills, speeds things up, and we lose our big guy. That's just not acceptable. Okay, so you don't attack. You do. You hurt him. Then you attack, die. Then you die immediately afterwards, at which point you get attacked by Seraph and die. We need one more person to block if we can. Not the one I was thinking of. But fair game, friend. Fair game. The other thing that we could do is just remove one person from the equation. This would have been a great time for Subsuming Blade, and we really can't afford to cast anything else over here. Lame. Them's the breaks. I hate melee weakness. It is the single, like, if this guy didn't give melee weakness, he would already be, like, he'd be a bit of a pushover. But the fact that he gives melee weakness, and the melee weakness doesn't go away, is brutality itself. We end the turn. Like, he did that right at the end, too. What an absolute joke. Okay, cool. Sting, Sting. Now you're dying to him. That's fine. You only have a little bit of burnout left, my friend. Now, do you still have all your bonuses? You fucking do. It's the worst. Okay, randomly get 2 of them back. Get the last one back. Okay. We must think carefully. You're going to get bigger every time we put somebody out. So here's how we have to do this. You have to go in the back to get the amount of damage you need to, like, live effectively. Then you can go out in front. That'll burst him down. Yep. Okay, and a Little Fade here guarantees at least a little bit of damage. Cool. Leave it alone at that. You up here. Get blasted. Get blasted. We're never going to have a chance to cast this again. So you know what? Hit me with your best shot, friendo. Seraph still has 2,000 HP, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. And it really doesn't help that every time we cast that, bad stuff happens to us. We can't cast you yet. We can cast you up on this floor. And you're a big boy, but, like, that's it. Okay, a little fade. This, sadly, kind of has to work for us. You are just more damage. Okay, cool. That's fine. Seriously, this guy's the worst. He's only taking 666, huh? And there's nowhere else I can cast these things, I guess. But, like, yeah, a room has been frozen. I guess I can cast these in the fire room. $700. It is worth mentioning that I feel like we got douched on this one. We got douched on this one really hard. We did okay and then died at the very end because that version of Seraph is just the version of Seraph I really, really hate. We did good. We did really, really well, actually, considering. But, yeah, that's going to be a pretty poor finish for us, I think. It was a good run right up until the end. The problem is that in one part there was some luck issues. I'm gonna go ahead and just put my hat in the ring on that one. I think that if we had managed to not have Seraph show up on the wrong turns every time, we would have been okay. But, like, he kept on melee weaknessing the wrong guys, and what I should have done there to solve that problem was put the draw guy up on the top floor, and then protect my carries a bit more. The Entombed Explosives could have been used to carry them a bit more and avoid spell weakness, but I'm not. Oof. The melee weakness. The melee weakness just killed both of my big guys right before it started up his thing, which meant that they could not last very long, and the one guy lost all of his rage, which was just brutal. So, you know, bad luck there. But I think overall we had a pretty good piloting episode there. I think at a certain point, though, Little Fade was getting large enough that I should have started putting her in the back to just do as much damage as I possibly could, and I should have set up floors in advance a bit more. But, like, yeah, just that version of Seraph is so brutal if you're playing from behind, because the instant they start going up with their relentless waves, it's just, you gotta cast spells, you gotta cast creatures, and he just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger for it. So, you know, it's brutally hard. Thanks for watching. Hope you folks enjoyed yourselves. If you did, be sure to let me know. Hit the subscribe, bell, like, dislike, comment. How'd you do today? Put your score in the chat below. Bye. Happy Friday. And stay, keep hanging in there. Stay safe.